All right, and there she is. She's done. This is block 4-1 of the Amish with a Twist 2. Comes in at 10.5. Let's see if I can get that in the screen. There, you can see it comes right in at my 1/2 inches, my 1/2 inch right up. So there's the 10.5. The back, like I said, the middle is pressed open. Everything is out to the side, nice and flat. She's ready to go. So now I'm just going to repeat this process for the other 2 log cabins of this month. So here is how I started my log cabins. After cutting everything out, I arranged them in the order that they'll be sewn for the 3 different blocks this month. Now, when you look at a block, you have your center. So 63 is technically the first one, and then 31, 41, 51, 12, 62, 46 in this, clockwise circle. So that is how mine are laid out. So I can just grab the next one off the top, off the top, off the top. If you're familiar with log cabins, there's 2 of each size, except for the last one, which has the one longest one to get these out. So, and it's generally a light on a dark, then a dark on a light on a dark, a dark on a light, which seems inconsequential, but if you're going to get, locked up of where you are, what's going on, then you'll know that you have done this correctly, because when you look at it, you should see light, dark down this row like this. So that is how I have my log cabins all set up, and I'm going to put one together. All right, I'm ready to sew the log cabins. I'm going to do 4-1 first, and I'm going to keep this real handy because those first few blocks are what matters. So I have them in my lineup just off to the side, the first 2 blocks. These ones are solid colors. There's no print, so I don't have to worry about wrong sides together or anything. It is just ready to go. And then this is the project. I'm making some snail trails for a little mermaid quilt. So I'll get these together as my leader ender contribution. Okay, then now this is the one time that I always press this open. You can press the entire block open. I just really like this center block being done this way. Kind of gives a good base. All right, then I just find it easiest. I just put it right next to where it needs to go. And I can say, okay, 34 is right here to the side. And I do this for the first round until I have all 3. There's like the 4 around this center one. So this is my 34, so I can put that on top of that. And I'm going to sew it upside down so I can make sure that this seam stays open. Sometimes it wants to get caught in something and fold over, and that defeated the purpose of my pressing it open. Okay, now I'm going to start pressing them out. Okay, so this is how she was in the book. This is the next strip, and it's going to go under. So it's going to be right here. And I'm just following along with this color right here. when generally I make these, I make, you know, a dozen or so of the same block, and then I can just chain piece that one piece over and over and over. With this particular block of the month, every single block is totally different. And it's set up nicely where if you get a couple backwards, as long as the darks are on one side and the lights are on the other, I don't think it would even show. Now, if you are having trouble keeping your log cabins to the 10.5 that they need to be, you know, take your time and, oh, this is what I was going to show you. So you now have one in the middle, so you always know where this next piece goes because it can cover up this one in the middle. But if you're always having trouble getting your log cabins to come out to that finished size, you know, cut them a thread or two bigger. We're supposed to cut them at 1.5, you know, cut them at 1 5/8, you know, and then trim between every one. You'll cut off that difference and your blocks will be perfect. But if you can maintain that nice scant 1/4 inch, your block should come out at 10.5. All right, we'll do another one with the snail trail starts. Okay, I'm going to pause you for a second and I'm going to go iron this one with the iron. Okay, so now this is those first center pieces put together. If you want to double check where you're at, you just count the rows, 2, 3, and add 1/2 inch. So this should come in at 3.5, which on this one, 1, 2, 3.5. Just want to show you that comes out right at the 3.5. You can check it along your edges, or you can check it right down your middle. Sometimes that's where the biggest problem comes in, is in the middle. Sometimes we press and it pulls, or we don't get that quite fast and it's actually folding in. But that is how you check to make sure that you are on track to a nice 10.5 inch square. So from here, I'm going to just take the next color. And remember, I said we always cover when there is a centerpiece. Make sure that's in the thing. Cover where there's a centerpiece. So this is where my next one is going to go. And we're just going to continue around the block. Okay, in the following video, I will show you how I made block 4-1 of Amish with a Twist 2 Tulip Pink version. Now this one did come in at 10.5, just as it was supposed to, as you can see right along the half inch, And while I'm doing this one, I always do a leader ender along the side. So if you're paying attention, you can see how to start a snail trail.